What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Zach and Pat Show. I'm Zach.
I'm a fucking idiot.
We have a very special guest in studio today, a friend of ours from Watson Martial Arts. He is a mead, homebrewing mead specialist, a mead judge, the great and powerful Scott Kurtz. Welcome to the show.
Great and powerful. I've never heard that way before, but I'll take it. Thanks for having me on today, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Scott. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Let's try this again, because this is round two. We
I'm an idiot. I forgot to hit record on the audio, and I think I need a drink.
Yeah.
Well, we might have a few things we can offer you at that point.
Let's do that. Maybe that'll make the pain of just having talked for 30 minutes without recording better.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Well, so Scott, you are a mead specialist. Let's just kind of might have you kind of repeat kind of some of the stuff you've already said here, but like, how did you get into all this?
So I've been making mead, beer, and cider for about 13 years now. Actually, it just kind of hit me a little bit ago. I've been at this for a while, and it's how it happened was I was living out in Southern Maryland at the time. My ex-wife Lakeisha and I, we were working at the Navy base out there, Patuxent River Naval Air Station. And any Boeing guys or military guys that have ever done a tour out there will tell you that Pax River is in the middle of nowhere in Maryland. It's at the southern tip of the Western Peninsula. It's in the boonies. It's the redneck capital of Mid-Atlantic. There is nothing to do out there. When we moved out there, they only had a Walmart for me the past 4 or 5 years, I think.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not even an interstate goes down there. All it's really good for out there was just eating and drinking, and that's about it. Maybe like the opening of the local tiki bar and everything is the big to-do, or the state fair.
Yeah.
But aside from that, not much to do. And she told me I needed a hobby, and honestly, she was right. There wasn't a whole lot going on out there. And that's where I got introduced to craft beer through a church group we belonged to at that time. Because I tried Yuengling for the first time, then I tried Sierra Nevada, and was kind of realizing, wait, what is this? And they said, this is beer. I'm like, this is beer? Because I'd been in St. Louis all my life. All I had ever really known at that point was Anheuser-Busch, maybe a little bit of Schlafly. So I started getting more and more into craft beer at that point. Then I started talking about, maybe I should try brewing this stuff a little bit, because I was always big into cooking and stuff. I was always making like ribs or gooey butter cake or steaks, all kinds of just like St. Louis staples out there and everything, just for our friends and family. And we had some family out there too. And then I think it was 2011 for Christmas, my sister Carly, she sent me a 1 gallon homebrewing kit from a company called Brooklyn Brew Shop. She sent the same kit to her husband, an engineer, and I was kind of thinking about it, and it just said, okay, put up or shut up at this point. So I went ahead, followed the instructions for it. That was probably me about a good 12-hour day, I think. I probably did everything wrong on that one, and amazingly, still turned out right. I just made sure to follow the instructions, and I talked to my brother-in-law, and he saw pictures too, and like, oh, I messed up, because his didn't even ferment at that point.
Wow. And he's the engineer.
And he's the engineer. So, Remy, I love you, buddy. But
That's why he's an engineer still.
Yeah,
that's why
you're
he's
like a pro, beer maker.
Yeah.
So,
yep. But he also married my sister, so God have mercy on. I can't. Carly, I'm sorry. Your big brother loves you. But one of the things I had a bunch of down there in that part of Maryland as well, they had several wineries in the area, and a bunch of farther upstate too. They actually had have a really good wine growing area out there in Maryland. My ex-wife and I, we visited some of the wineries occasionally, went to 1 or 2 wine festivals, and one we went to that previous fall actually had mead available at one of the booths. And I remember trying it because I'd seen just some stuff in passing, knowing about Viking culture and that kind of stuff. I thought, this isn't bad, but I don't know, just something about it just didn't taste right. I felt like maybe I could do better on this one day.
And for those people that don't know, what is mead?
So mead is probably the oldest alcoholic beverage known to man, possibly. It's just a combination of honey, water, and yeast. That's it. Whereas exact origins are, nobody really knows. This stuff predates written history.
Okay.
My working theory, because I teach mead making classes over at Down the Hall Homebrew over in Belleville, Illinois, is that some caveman was just walking along one day, stumbled across a beehive that felt like a puddle of water and everything. It was hot out. He was thirsty. He took a sip. Thought he was having this divine experience. And really, in reality, he was just getting drunk at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good theory.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. We'll roll with it.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, so it's just those 3 ingredients, or can we do people doctor it up a little bit? Or
there's a whole bunch of things you can do with that. I'm also a certified mead judge as well. There's a group out there called the Beer Judge Certification Program. Pretty much teaches folks how to taste and evaluate beer, mead, and cider. I have a certification in all three of those, and I was one of the first certified mead judges in the St. Louis area back in 2018, 2019. Time's a weird
doing
thing.
this a hot minute, Scott.
Yeah, it's
You got your black belt in beer.
maybe a high level brown belt at this point.
Hey, you beat my ass.
Yeah. Hey, like we say in jiu-jitsu, same thing for me making all this stuff. I still suck some days. So
yeah, I mean, well,
but we're
always learning. Yeah,
always learning.
We're talking about mead and the different ways you can.
Yep. So with that, they have categories for there's like 4 different categories, and each one has like multiple subcategories in there. So the one I have right here, this is traditional mead, which is just the honey, water, and yeast. And even with that, you can go like a bunch of different ways. I do some occasional work with the National Honey Board, and they recognize over 300 different varieties of honey here in the U.S. And I never knew that. I always thought before I started mead making, there was
honey was honey.
Yeah, honey was honey.
Yeah.
But then I started finding out this stuff, getting more involved, and then I find like, oh shit, there's actually more to it than that. I mean, you have clover honey, you have mesquite honey, you have carrot blossom honey. What else? You have raspberry honey. Pretty much anything that bees can get pollen out of a flower, they can make honey out of it.
Mm.
The point where I actually found there's this one really expensive honey that you can get out of the Pacific Northwest. They have a plant out there called meadow foam. Whenever it blossoms, it looks like just clouds all over the fields and everything. That honey, I kid you not, when you try it, it tastes just like marshmallow cereal.
Really?
What's it called?
Meadow foam honey.
Meadow foam?
Mm-hmm. But the problem is, a bucket of that stuff, last time I checked, I think a 5-gallon bucket costs like maybe about $500 or $600, depending on where you get it from. Mm-hmm.
So it's pricey.
Yeah. Yep, it's pricey.
That's the cream of the
cream
crop.
of the crop,
Mm-hmm.
honey.
But even with using like just your local wildflower stuff you get from like your farmer's market or like the little roadside stands, even that can change. I've tried wildflower honey from different parts of St. Louis City, different parts of St. Louis County, as far down as St. James, Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois, Iowa, I think Minnesota one time, and each one just tasted completely different from each other.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Crazy, just a few miles apart.
Yeah, I mean, some are like super fruity, other ones just like very floral character. The stuff from St. James had like this kind of almost like baking spice character to it and everything.
Wow.
Okay.
So now how do you make the stuff? And now, is this carbonated?
Now this is a still one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and pour some of this out. It's a little unfiltered. The bottle got shook up on the way over. This could be about maybe right around 9%, I think.
Boy. All right.
So it's gonna go kick a little bit. I don't want to pour you guys too much,
Yeah,
but
well,
cheers,
boys.
Cheers.
oh, that's doing.
Definitely kind of like almost tastes like wine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That is really good.
Because some mead makers, they actually will use wine yeast in this. So the whole process for it, one of the key things you want to do, I teach this whenever I teach somebody about how to make any kind of alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, cider, mead. The most important thing you have to do is make sure whatever equipment you're using is clean. And I don't mean just clean, I mean sanitized. You're mixing all this stuff up, whether it's one of those four, eventually when it goes in the fermenting bucket or fermenting pot or whatever you want to use, it's just like a giant petri dish. It's just a whole bunch of like sugar water at that point. If any kind of bacteria gets in there that you don't want, that stuff's going to go rancid pretty quick. You could use some wild stuff in there on occasion, but that's like a very controlled situation there. 9 times out of 10, any kind of wild bacteria that gets in there, it's just going to spoil it. And all you can do at that point is just toss it down the drain.
Oh, okay. So you just got to keep it super clean.
Yeah.
It makes
super
sense.
clean.
Just like any other, kitchen cooking related. I mean, you should keep your shit clean. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay, so we clean our stuff. What's the next step?
Next step is you'll take your honey. You'll go ahead and mix in some water, just kind of get in solution everything.
So like not make it not so thick.
Is there a certain percentage of honey that needs to be used?
It depends on how much ABV you're looking for. I know if I'm making a 5-gallon batch, I'll do like maybe about 12 pounds of honey in there, maybe about 4 gallons of water. So maybe about 8-9%, like this stuff right here, about just maybe 4 to 1. I've seen it done as far down as 1 to 1. And that's something that apparently the mead making capital of the world is actually in Poland. They actually have like different names for different weights of mead in a sense, like just how much honey they use in there. I can't remember what they are. And my Polish isn't very good. Ich kann sprechen ein kleines Deutsch, but my Polish is no good. I'm bisschen. It helps with the brewing a little bit.
Sure, I bet. Yeah.
But at that point, once everything's kind of mixed up, you'll do a quick little check, just make sure you have the right kind of gravity and everything. You're looking for just how dense the sugar water is at that point. So that way you can kind of get a better picture of what your alcohol content is going to be.
So the sugar is what turns into alcohol. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Then you'll toss in the yeast, and the yeast, that's what you'll just eat the sugar and just fart out CO2 and alcohol at that point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But the big difference on making mead versus making beer, beer has a lot of complex sugars in there and everything with the beer wort. If you ever done the AB tour, they'll talk about that and everything. Same thing if you ever visit a winery, like kind of go behind the scenes, they'll talk about the wine must. Same for like visiting a cidery. They'll talk about the cider juice or cider must or whatever term they use. Can't remember off the top of my head. But all those have complex sugars in there. Honey is a simple sugar. There's no nutritional value to it whatsoever. So best way I can describe the fermentation process to kind of give you an example of why you need to treat it a certain way is you both said you have kids and everything. So imagine sitting there. You sit your kids down for dinner. On one side, you have this perfect steak dinner, just like good medium rare ribeye that's been like sous vide, reverse sear, everything to the point where the top just has that beautiful, just kind
Crust.
of, yes, exactly. Just like garlic mashed potatoes where some of the skin's still in there, perfectly seasoned broccoli.
I'm hungry.
Mhm.
I'm
an enabler. What can I
Throw a
say?
Caesar salad on the side and I'm game.
There you
baby.
go. Woo! And then on the other side, you have this 2-foot tall, diabetes-inducing abomination of a hot fudge sundae with every single bit of sugary shit. Oh, wait, I can curse. I can curse. Okay,
Yes.
with every single bit of sugary shit on top of there, including just like all the maraschino cherries on top of like little bits of the juice dribbling off and everything. Now, knowing your kids, what are they going to go for first, the ice cream or the steak dinner?
Ice cream all day, baby.
Yep.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, the ice cream is a simple sugar with the mead, with the honey and everything. The yeast are your kids. And over here, the steak dinner, that's the complex starches and carbs, all that stuff. Now, the problem is, though, how far do you think your kids are going to get on that hot fudge sundae?
Depends on the kid, but yeah.
You got one of those, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little sugar demon.
For sure.
But here's the question, though. How happy are they going to be after they eat all that ice cream? Not very.
Tummy ache for sure.
Mm-hmm. Same thing at this point. The yeast will only get through so much of that simple sugar before they just kind of go tap out and just
Be done.
and it's just not going to taste good at that point.
Okay.
With the steak dinner, that's there's like special nutrients added into meat and everything to kind of make the yeast a little bit happier. At that point, I'm forcing the yeast to take bites of the steak dinner, take bites of the ice cream. So that way, it won't eat all of it, but that's why there's so many yeast that we put into these things, and that way they'll all be a lot happier at the end. You have a better tasting product at that point.
Okay.
So you said you can make this with anything. So like you mentioned ciders. Can you do this with like other fruits that you're mixing with this?
That's actually, I'm not sure where it kind of broke off, but there's a style of mead out there called Sizer where it's mead made with apples or apple juice. And I'm pretty sure somewhere online, that's where we get our modern day term cider from, because a lot of fermentation, as far as I know, even going back like maybe 7,000 BCE in China, they have found traces of honey in fermentation pots there and everything. They have found honey fermentation all over the world. The only place we really haven't found a whole lot of it is North America, like what we know is now the U.S. and Canada, because bees apparently didn't get introduced at like a certain time into North America and everything. But everywhere else in the world, you can find bees to a certain extent. So
now you mentioned adding the other nutrients. So when you're not doing just something like this, it's just honey. Are those fruit that you're adding? Is that the other nutrients that you need? Or you got to add?
There's other nutrients there too. They definitely help out. Me, I still add them in there just to be on the safe side because at this point, I mean, like we mentioned, the metafoam honey and everything, that stuff's expensive. I would prefer to kind of make it a little more bulletproof at that point.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to have to throw out the whole batch, or
especially when you produce that commercial level. Because I've had that happen a few times where I've had a batch go sideways on me,
and you have like gallons and gallons of it.
I had I'm always open about my failures as a commercial mead maker. I've had a lot more successes than failures, but I will be open about my failures. I had a batch that earlier this year I was going to do like a mocha cinnamon mead, and everything was like cacao nibs, coffee beans in there, something called Amburana wood, which is like a Brazilian hardwood that gives off a lot of beautiful baking spice notes and everything. I made the mistake of letting the coffee sitting there for a little bit too long, and next thing I know, I put on gas, try and get some carbonation on there, start pouring it off. And the nose is all just slightly overripe green bell pepper.
Wait, that's what it tasted like?
That's what it tasted and smelled like.
Really?
I could not
green
sell that.
pepper.
Coffee, if it gets oxidized and everything, it sits too long in something, it starts getting that green bell pepper kind of flavor and aroma.
Really?
Yep.
I would have never thought that.
Yep.
Oh.
And I don't know anybody that wants a meat that tastes like green bell pepper. So
No,
that one,
I like green bell peppers, but not. I don't want to be drinking them.
no.
Right.
So
I like them in my fajitas. You know.
Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have a whole lot of money invested in that batch, like maybe about $300 at most. But also, just the amount of sales I lost at that point was just heartbreaking.
Yeah,
So,
and the time you probably put into it too. Yeah. Oh man, that sucks.
So you got all this stuff mixed together.
mhm.
Where do we go from there?
So we got all mixed together. We add in the yeast. We go ahead and sanitize the lid for whatever fermenting vessel you're using. Seal it up. You put it in temperature range where you want it to be for home stuff. I just find a yeast strain that kind of functions at different at a wide variety of temperatures. Professional, if I can use like something that's temperature control, like a glycol jacketed fermenter or something like that, I'll put it at a certain temperature there, depending on the strain, and just let it sit for a few weeks until it's done fermenting.
Okay, so it sits, and then what?
And then I transfer it over to whatever kind of I'll either pull off in the bottles, like this guy right here,
Okay.
or I will pump it over to a keg.
Okay.
And there's a couple ways I can do it. Depending on the batch size, I'll either use like a vacuum transfer system and pump it over into there. We'll do that for the bottling too. That way it just cuts down oxidation risk. If you ever had like a wine that's been sitting out for too long or at too low level, it gets
Like stale.
Kind of, yeah, it's still kind of like papery, kind of cardboard kind of taste and everything. I've never met anybody that likes that taste unless it's like something that's really designed to be oxidized, like say a good like Madeira or pour like a good barrel aged beer or something like that.
Okay. So you get it in the keg,
Mhm.
and now might be a stupid question, but does it go in the same hole that you put the tap in? I've only ever had beer come out the exit. I've only ever exited beer from a keg. I've never put it in.
I've had go out an entrance for me one time.
Yeah.
that was back in college when I had way too much at that point. I kid. That's a different story. But in a sense, it does because the kegs, they have different openings on there and everything.
Where are
you have
the
like
other holes?
it depends on the keg. The homebrew kegs, homebrewers actually use like what used to be like the old soda kegs from like back in the 70s and 80s and everything. They still use those where they just like mixing the syrup and the water and everything. There's 2 posts in there. We actually will pump it in through the liquid outpost and everything. So that way it kind of cuts down on the oxidation stuff. Then we'll either put the oxygen, we'll put the CO2 in through that, or we'll have a special little carb stone attached to it. We'll just pump in the CO2 that way on top of it.
So you just pump the CO2. So once you get it in the keg, you pump CO2 into it to make it carbonated.
Yep.
And that's all you do. You just got to pump the gas in there, and that's what it just carbonates.
Yep. On the small, that's what you do for small batches. The big batches, they have fermenters that are designed with like a carb stone in there. You just pump in the gas that way, and then you fill off your kegs or bottles that way.
Cool. Okay.
That's cool.
So when you get it, you got it in the keg, you got carbonated, and now it's just got to sit and hang out.
Yeah, just sit and hang out. I've had stuff like, depends on the ABV as well. There, I've had like the session ones, like anything like maybe about say 7% or below, maybe about 4 to 6 weeks, give or take at most. I've had stuff turn around like maybe as little as 3 weeks, depending on like the really lower end stuff.
Now, do you know, like when you're making this stuff, like do you know the ABV, or are you just kind of like ballparking it just because you like know the taste, or is it like
I do have to know the ABV, at least for the stuff I make commercially. I'm on contract with Blue Brewing and Shoehorn Brewing. There, it is mandatory for us to know the ABV. We have to report that to the TTB and everything, and to Missouri ATC or Illinois ATC.
And how do you calculate that?
Yeah, how do you figure it out?
There's a couple different ways. The pretty much the main analog way, we have this tool called a hydrometer. Pretty much looks like a glass fishing bobber more than anything. It has different markings on there, just kind of letting you know what the sugar density is at the start. And then once you drop in, once it's done finishing, it'll show you like your finishing gravity and everything. You just subtract those numbers from each other, and that's how you get your ABV that way.
Really?
Okay.
So it's just like you pour a glass and you set this thing in there, and it'll basically tell you.
Yeah, pretty much like a graduated cylinder.
I mean, you
or
got,
something.
but you got to, okay, not in a pint glass, but in a more scientific way than that.
Yep.
you put it in there, and then you do some math, and that's how you figure it out.
Pretty much. I do cheat. There is like software there you can use to calculate the numbers and everything.
Sure.
Because Scott Brain don't want math good. So
Yeah, I get it. I'm not great at math either. So
yeah. But
my strong
there's
suit.
electronic things out there too, where you can just put a couple drops of sample on there and they'll just immediately spit it out. But those things are just so pricey sometimes. And a lot of small nano breweries and craft breweries, it's not a worthwhile expense. And when a hydrometer works just as well, no point in doing that.
It's good. I like it. Wow. Okay. So, and then like how did you, I mean, you started this as a hobby. At what point did it like become more than just a hobby and you kind of like really like started taking this super serious?
Well, occasionally I helped out like teaching some just like little small kind of ad hoc classes.
Well, did
on
you
mead
like
making.
jump into like competitions, or like how did that go? Or was that the next step? Or
Yeah, competitions definitely were a piece of it. Because there's homebrew competitions all throughout the U.S. and everything. St. Louis, we have me about 3 or 4 a year.
wow,
I entered some of the local ones a couple times and got some good feedback and everything. To the point where I started putting my stuff in nationally. Cool thing is, back in 2017, I entered the national homebrew competition, and for the St. Louis area to go to the finals, I actually took first in my category for traditional mead.
damn,
That's awesome.
Scott.
Finals, I got smoked though. Unfortunately, something just I don't know if it was just I gave them the bad bottle or something, or the judges' ear just missed something that the judges at the finals
Was it the same shit? Same stuff?
same stuff.
Mm.
Which at this point, but hey, my first ever gold medal for mead and everything, going to the national homebrew competition finals. I mean, I'll take that win any day of the week.
Right.
Hell yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Mhm.
Amazing. Okay, so you got into the comps, and then
Mhm.
and then what from there? Like, what kind of elevated it even more?
I think it was around maybe 2018-ish, I think, like late 2018, maybe early 2019. The team from Blue Brewing reached out to me. They had just found their space where they're at off Cherokee Street, over on Cord Cherokee and Limp right now. Said, hey, Scott, we're having open house. Would you like to stop by? Because I knew their owners, Cam, Grant, and Jerry, from like the homebrew scene here in St. Louis. I've been at festivals with them much times. And they were making some absolutely solid just barley wines and stouts and everything. That was always their claim to famous homebrewers. So I go to the open house and bring along this big old Magnum bottle. I filled up like one of my traditional meads, and they were so happy to see it. They all loved the taste. I said, this is why we wanted you here. We actually wanted to see if you want to come on board with us on contract as our mead maker. I'm like, shit, where do I sign the contract?
Sweet. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So now you make mead for them as well as a place over in Belleville?
Yep, I do stuff over at Shoehorn Brewing over in Belleville. They reached out to me about a little over 2 years ago now. They'd always been following me. I knew the owners, Mike and Jeremy, from again the homebrew scene as well. The homebrew scene here in St. Louis is it's pretty special. I've never seen a community like that anywhere else. I mean, I've been like some of the homebrew cons and everything in the past, and they have all the clubs do things differently. But St. Louis area, I think back in 2016, I actually founded the St. Louis Area Homebrewers Guild because we were also kind of like disconnected at that point. Nobody knew like, hey, when's this club having this meeting? When are they talking about this? Or when are we having this festival? There was no coordination. And at that point, I was still in competitions and I was getting skunked pretty bad in a lot of them. It's just kind of point was I was decided to put my energy into something positive and create the Homebrewers Guild forum on Facebook. Next thing I know, it takes off. Everybody's talking everything. We have folks going to other clubs' meetings. We have a schedule up there of when all the meetings are. We start talking about coordination with festivals. And next thing I know, I found the Officers Council as well.
Wow.
Okay. Very cool.
That's awesome, man. Wow. This is it's impressive.
It's played a pretty big part in my life. I mean, it's
Well, how many people do like the home brewing stuff here in St. Louis, or a part of your group?
last time I checked with the Homebrewers Guild, I think we had like maybe about 1,300 members. I think not
Holy
everybody's as
smokes.
active, but there's still folks that are
Right.
in there.
Yeah, the
We have
people
about
that
maybe,
do it, yeah.
including the Illinois side, about maybe a little more than a dozen clubs right now, I think.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Incredible.
Mhm.
And then eventually you get into like the judging, right?
Mhm.
How did that?
Judging, I just kind of stumbled into that one because one of the home clubs I belonged to, they needed stewards like I think it was like maybe one of the years they did the first round of the National Homebrew Competition here in St. Louis, like because they had it all over the country and everything. They had like the first round sites. They needed stewards at that point to kind of help pass out the samples, help out the judges and everything. And the day I went down there to help out, apparently a couple of judges no-show just for some reason. And the head judge says, "Hey, Scott, we need you to help judge in this." Like, what? So I sit down there, and when you have somebody new judging, they always pair you off with somebody that's got experience. So usually somebody that's like maybe a national level rank or higher. And I did decent that day. So I went and did it again and did a few more times. And then another one of the local judges, he's currently a Grandmaster level 2 with the BJCP. He said, "Hey, I'm doing a judge class. I'd like you to take it." I'm like, okay. So for me, about 4-month period, like I think like maybe 4 out of 5 Sundays each month, they do a beer judge class over at Stubborn German over in Waterloo. And with that, each class we try a different style of beer. So say, for example, one class we cover like the light German lagers, the European lagers. We cover like some of the English ales, Scottish ales, Trappist beers. And then we just kind of learn about what makes each beer unique and everything. And then we also cover like off flavor stuff or off aromas, anything where the fermentation process or the brewing process can go wrong and just make a beer just smell or taste super gnarly and everything.
Okay.
So we learn how to identify those, how to prevent them. And then what else? We also learn the different components of the beer. Like we learn about different types of barley malts. You learn about all the different types of hops, all the different yeast strains and everything, how water can impact how a beer tastes and all that. It's
Like
just
the kind of water.
because actually water plays a big difference.
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's like Scotch and bourbon. I mean, Scotch is made out of over in Scotland with their water there, which gives it a more peaty.
And they
peaty
smoke
taste.
that stuff
Yeah.
too.
Really?
So-
That's the only difference between Scotch and bourbon or whiskey?
Both.
Really? So it's just, it has to be water from Scotland to be Scotch.
And then with bourbon, I mean, I think the grain bill has to be at least 51% corn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, got that right.
Yep.
Damn. Okay. I'm learning stuff here.
Yep.
Now, like, what's the criteria? Like when you're I've always wondered this, like with like any sort of like taste judge, whether it's food or like, I'm like, what is the criteria? Like, like, what are we looking for? Like when we're judging?
That's a very good question. So the BJCP Beer Certification Program, they have their style guidelines. They have those for beer, cider, and mead, and they'll have like specific guidelines as far as appearance, aroma, taste, mouthfeel, and its overall impression on there. And the beer has to kind of conform to those guidelines. So, say for example, you're making like an Irish stout, like a Guinness or something like that.
Okay.
It has to have color-wise has to be just almost
Dark
brown,
okay.
just almost nearly jet black and everything. Has to have that thick, moosey tan head and everything. Has to have that kind of coffee and roasted smell to it and everything. Has to kind of be light in body. And you should think.
When you say light in body, what does that mean?
So pretty much it's.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's a very good question to ask, though. I mean, body, I'm trying to remember how Jeff, the grandmaster that taught this stuff, explained to me that body in beer, it kind of goes from like just like light, it's gonna be like almost kind of like water texture and everything. Heavy is
So
gonna
like
have
this is more of a water texture.
yeah, more of a water texture versus heavy
Where it's,
bodies.
like, thick.
Yeah,
feeling,
like very like whole milk almost
Yes,
at that point
okay.
and everything. And what's in between? Darn, I'm drawing a blank on this one,
But yeah, I get it. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of like the thickness / consistency of it.
Exactly.
would be the body.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's one misconception everybody has about dark beers, that everybody thinks that since it's dark, it should be just super strong and everything, which is not the case. Guinness is, I think,
Very
maybe,
smooth.
yeah, I think it's like under 4 or 5 or something like that and everything. I
good.
mean, that's their Bud Light over there in a sense. I'm
Really.
probably going to get shot for saying that by
Yeah.
somebody that's Irish.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay. So what were the criteria again? Aroma,
Aroma,
Taste.
appearance,
body, appearance,
and overall impression.
overall impression.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then that's a score of high score is 50. I've never seen a perfect 50. I've scored
like you do like 1 out of 10 on all 5 categories, or how does that?
some. I try to remember right because I think aroma is 10 points, appearance is 3 points. Let's see what. Darn it! I should know this stuff. I've been doing it long enough. Mouthfeel texture is 5. I believe taste can be about 15. I think. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
So it all adds up to 50.
Yeah, it all adds up to 50 at
Nobody
that
ever gets
point.
a 50.
Mhm.
Right.
I've seen judges give out a 50 one time, but I've had other folks try that beer. That wasn't a 50.
Huh.
Because
Somebody's paying the judges off. I'll say it, Scott. You don't have to.
it's something.
They can come after
Yeah.
me.
That's why there's always 2 judges on there. And if they ever can't come to consensus and everything, the rule for BJCP competition for scoring the score sheets, you have to be within 5 points of their judge. I've had happened before where I score something super low and the other judge all of a sudden is super high on there, and we try and at least get close, but we still can't get close. We call over the head judge or something like that, and they just look it over and like, yeah, I think this is the issue here. And usually it's somebody that's pretty high rank and somebody that's been around the block a few times.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you put something on the questionnaire I definitely wanted to ask about. How did you end up proctoring the first ever mead judge exam in Israel?
Yeah, that's because that was maybe a little bit after I got my mead judge certification. Actually, I scored high enough that I qualified as a proctor on that, which was pretty cool. Well, secret though, I barely squeaked in as a proctor because the cutoff was 80. I got an 80. So
there you go.
I mean, hey, sometimes better lucky than good. So,
Right, yeah.
And then I was following some of the BJCP forums on Facebook and everything, and the now local master over there, I think he might be a grandmaster now, actually, Omer. He posted up there that he was hoping to get some more meat judges over there in Israel, trying to get some more folks experience. I was hoping to make him over and proctor an exam for him, and nobody was biting on that. And I figured, fuck it, go for it.
Yeah.
And I reached out and said, hey, I'm not like a national rank or a grandmaster or anything, but I'm qualified as a proctor. I'd love to come over and help you guys out and everything. And we got to talking. And next thing you know, I checked in with the BJCP. They covered part of my plane ticket over to Israel. They helped me out with an Airbnb over there, and I got to spend 3 days in Israel.
That's cool.
The cool thing is, actually, I reached out to the American Homebrewers Association on this. They have a magazine called Zimmergy's, just covers like everything homebrewing and brewing in there. I told them about the opportunity, like, would you please write a story on this? And I just figured,
really?
Hell yeah, I'll have to send a copy over to you guys. But that ended up being the centerfold article for that magazine.
Wow, that's awesome.
During the
Very
pandemic,
cool.
which is pretty awesome.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you did that during the pandemic?
Right before the pandemic, the issue came out during the pandemic. Yeah, because that was 2019. So right before I started doing all this stuff with going on board with Bluewood, going to Israel, making some of the first produced meads here in St. Louis and everything, all before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
And then the pandemic came along and kind of through everything into a tailspin. So
Really?
yeah.
How did that, or what kind of tailspin did it put it into, or what
More so just everything was kind of shut down at that point.
Right.
Everybody was just kind of like duck and cover at that. Then just a lot of cash right at Bluewood. They'd only been open maybe about 6 months at that point, and they were just very concerned about what to do.
Yeah.
If we, because one of the things that say Bluewood is we have like a little patio space kind of built into the buildings. It used to be the old stables for the Lem Brewery. They didn't have that patio space. I don't know if they'd be open right now.
Really?
Because you guys remember how it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only eat outside. You can't be indoors. You can't.
I
Nobody
remember.
knew what was happening with that. It just.
I forget the name of it. Steve Albert.
Oh yeah, Center Ice. Yeah,
Center
I actually
Ice.
did a contract
Yeah.
with them a few times. I made some meads for them as well.
Yeah, he. I grew up playing hockey with him, and he had that one in the city, and that was
Yeah.
a cool spot. And I know for a while he held on for as long as he could. And, but yeah, I was sad to hear that one go.
Yeah, that was. I've heard bits and pieces of the story and everything from the staff and from Steve too. Just they just had bad luck with the landlord there,
Yeah.
I think, which sucks because they had something special there. I was actually there the night they won the Stanley Cup.
Were you?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
place, it was
I'm
it
sure.
looked like a war zone afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it was cool. Like the bar they built was built out of the hockey old boards from
Out of the old arena and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
it was just, it wasn't a good spot too. They even did shells down the game and everything.
Yeah.
I went there a bunch. That was kind of my home away from home for a while. So
Really?
Yeah, no, I grew up playing hockey with Steve, and they had some good beers.
Yeah.
Some really good beers.
yeah, I actually still have one of their Imperial Stouts at home on my bottle rack and everything.
Really?
So I'll have to pop that open one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, because it was like right at that time he had just gotten in with the Blues and all that stuff, and they were selling his stuff at the arena and
Yep.
all that stuff. Yeah,
Thanks, COVID. Ruined everything.
Ruined
Fucking
everything.
COVID,
Mhm.
fake bullshit. Sorry for those.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry. What else you got here for us, Scott?
Yeah.
What other,
Got a bunch of things. So I also brought along some beers and breweries I'm on contract with too, just ones that are special to them right now.
You got other meads, right?
Yep.
So,
And then this is one, a rebrew of one I did for Blue a while back. I'm going to be hopefully, I'll be bleep. That's all, folks. Jeez, I haven't even drank that much. This is one I'm hoping to put out sometime this fall or winter, possibly. So I mentioned,
that bottle's badass.
yeah, this
that's
is,
cool
I just didn't have any regular bottles to fill this
Yeah.
up with, so I just put this under the tap and pulled it off. Just one of the meads I specialize is a style called Pyment, where it's just a mead made with honey and grape juice.
Okay.
My thought process is with mead. I mean, one is I can't enunciate worth of shit. So people think, oh, you're a butcher. Like, no, mead, M-E-A-D, not M-E-A-t. You'd be surprised how often that happens.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, 'cause it's like
Duh.
not like a normal, I mean, not, no, I shouldn't say it's not like a very common thing that someone, like, it's a pretty niche.
That's the perfect word
beverage,
for it. I mean,
you know?
it's
When I hear mead, I think of like Vikings and like medieval, I should
Like
be
the
drinking
Celts.
this out of a horn,
Mhm. Celts, William Wallace, and all that kind of stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But I specialize in that style because my thought process is, I mean, nobody really knows what mead is around St. Louis. I mean, there's some folks that do, but there's a lot of crazy things I've heard from customers coming in just telling our bartenders, "Oh, mead, that's unfermented beer, right?" And like, no, where are you getting this information? To the point where I figured, with this style, I mean, we still have we have the Missouri Weinstrasse, everything out there, right around 94 and everything. People know what wine is, and they know what Chardonnay is, they know what Pinot Grigio is, they know what Merlot is, that kind of stuff. With Piements, if I can say it's made with, like, say, Sauvignon Blanc juice or Chardonnay or Traminette or Norton or something like that, like, oh, okay, it gives them like a better baseline at that point. It makes it more approachable then. So I started doing those, and this one is actually Chilean Malbec juice with honey variety I found called Carrot Blossom.
My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Malbec's my favorite.
Yep, I call this one the Black Rabbit. This one's actually a 2-time medal winner.
Can we try
Gold
that?
medal winner, actually.
We try that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's give it a shot.
I'm excited about this.
Sorry, so what's this called again, Scott?
Black Rabbit.
Black
Black
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
I like it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, it did.
wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely looks like wine.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're pouring me a glass of Merlot here.
Mm-hmm.
Malbec. Get it right.
Malbec.
Yeah, this one's one of my personal favorites.
Sweet. I'm
There's
excited
one
to
that
try.
Prost.
All right, boys.
Cheers.
Prost. Oh, dude, that's really. I like that one better. Than
Holy shit.
that one.
Mhm.
Dude, that's
Wow.
That's very good.
Got some more?
Sure. Actually, take the bottle home. That's yours now. So,
Wow, that's delicious.
Just, yeah.
and that one, the ABV is about 13.1.
Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to.
it's good stuff. I mean, that one was good, but I like that one's. I can see why that's your
Mhm.
your best seller. I should
Want
say.
some
Is that yeah? Sure, I'll take
I wouldn't say it's my best seller. It's definitely one of my favorites.
or
But
one of your favorites.
the thing is, I am very proud of how this one turned out. I love it. But this isn't even some of my best work.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
it's delicious, man.
One I'm hoping to bring back to Bluewood in the spring, hopefully around spring break, if I can just the timing right with the ingredients and everything. What kind of became our flagship one a while back was I made a peanut butter jelly mead.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Viking lunchbox.
Viking lunchbox. Dude, that's cool. That's a great name for it too.
Yeah, our social media manager, she is constantly asking me, when is that coming back? When is that coming back? And I gotta get the juice first. I gotta find the right honey. I gotta get hold of the dried peanut butter and everything.
So do you put peanut butter in with
Yep, dried peanut butter.
dried
Okay.
Yeah,
peanut butter?
PB2.
Like the PB2. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Although, admittedly, full disclosure, I mean, everybody's gonna find out anyways. I do have to cheat a little bit, like peanut butter extract, just get the nose right.
Mhm.
But it still turns out pretty good. I'm very proud of how one turned. That actually was one of the best-selling meads in the U.S. 2024. I found that out recently. There's an app out there called Untapped that you kind of
Mhm.
rate beers and everything. I popped on there just looking for some information on it, and all of a sudden pops up.
That was
hey,
yours?
Yep, top
Wow.
3 for U.S. for
Wow.
Piements.
Congratulations.
I'm like,
That's
shit.
amazing.
Yeah, Scott. Damn,
I was like,
dude.
okay, I was having a bad day that day too in the summer. And like all of a sudden, hey, this was a number 3 in 2024. I'm like,
Wow.
shit, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. So now who did you make that one with? Bluewood?
That was Bluewood as well.
Cool. Man, that's so cool. Scott.
So were you big into science growing up?
Actually, no. I was a bit of a Lego nerd, honestly.
I mean, this is a ton of science, but also a bunch of art. I mean, obviously you're mixing all these different flavors and things like that. I mean, how do you personally balance creativity and precision without losing either?
Oh, that's a very good question. Definitely kind of do your research first. Kind of figure out which flavors are going to work well with each other. One of the guys who's kind of the godfather for like the U.S. mead scene right now, I think what he said a while back was, if it'll make a good dessert, it'll make a good mead, and that definitely holds true. Like a blueberry pie or something like that. I mean, blueberry mead is really tasty and everything. Whatever fruit blends are going to work together. It's just like say for example, like apple cinnamon, like apple pie, apple mead, and everything is really good.
Mm.
I wonder if it's possible to do like a gooey butter flavor.
Gooey butter
make it
mead.
in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
You said you were making it when you were back in Maryland.
Making gooey
Mhm.
butter.
Making
so,
gooey
yeah.
butter cake.
We're give you some ideas
Yeah.
here. A gooey
I've had
butter
some-
mead.
I've had some really weird ones though, because the National Honey Board, they'll do their mead crafters competition. A couple of years ago, the guy from Impossible Mead, he turned in a green tomato lemon mead of all things.
Weird.
Huh. Was it good?
Actually, yeah, I
Really?
ended up giving that a gold medal because I mean it tastes exactly. That's one thing you have to consider when you're judging is, does it taste like what they declared in there and everything? Because like beer, you don't find out what's in there and everything, unless it's like especially one where they put in like different fruits and spices and everything. There you have to know. But with meads, like the fruit meads, you have to kind of declare what some of the stuff is in there. He said green tomato lemon. I was like, I will admit to some skepticism on that one, but I tried it. The acidity on that was perfect. The green tea and lemon came out brilliantly on that, and
Wow.
I gave it a really good score on that one, and I'm taking gold in its category.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could see how this stuff is dangerous. It tastes like just juice.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Fucked up on this.
I mean,
Yep.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, for me,
It's
actually,
delicious.
I had French oak and primary on this one during while I was fermenting, and it gives out this almost like a Blue Label Tootsie Pop flavor to me, almost.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I get that.
Yeah, I could taste that. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
that's
really-
a good. Yeah, it's I mean, dude, this is
phenomenal.
Mhm.
it's really good.
And that's a trick I'll tell folks when they're learning how to judge and everything too, is you want to, especially when you're like doing your initial evaluations, when you do like the tasting exams, you want the people reviewing your score sheets to know exactly what you're experiencing at that point. So you want to be as descriptive as possible. You want to use things like Blue Label Tootsie Pop. It tastes like a overripe peach or like underripe tomato or something like that. You want to
get real specific on what it actually tastes
Mhm.
like.
Some of that is just I mean, yeah, you need to make sure your tongue and your nose are getting the right things on there, but also you want to be able to clearly communicate what you're experiencing there, because it's not just going to these proctors and everything and the exam reviewers, but this is also feedback going out to somebody who entered this thing. A lot of the competitions have like a 8, 10, sometimes $15 or $20 entry fee, depending on how big the competition is. They're paying this money. You want to make sure they get good feedback and it's something they can use to actually kind of improve on their next batch.
Mm.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Makes sense. Now, is there like do you have actually, question before I ask that. Is mead always uncarbonated? Or do some people carbonate it?
It depends. Usually the higher strength stuff, I don't carbonate that. Because I've had stuff that's accidentally gotten carbonated a couple times, like the higher strength stuff, and it just doesn't taste right, especially has a lot of tannin in there and everything. I never carbonated a Merlot, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to taste good.
Yeah.
But like the lower BV stuff, I definitely carbonate that.
Okay. Curious if it's always not carbonated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your favorite mead you've ever had? Do you have one in mind?
Oh, that's
Do you have like this was the best shit I've ever had, or like either it being one of ones you've made or one you've tasted, or
there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like asking you to pick your favorite kid, but
so pretty much the godfather of the U.S. mead scene, Ken Schramm, he owns Schramm's Meadery up there in Michigan. He literally wrote the book on mead making and everything. It's called The Complete Mead Maker. He has a black currant mead that, even though it is very sweet, it is absolute perfection. Mm-hmm. I mean, just the acidity on that, the depth of flavor is perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What was it called again?
Schramm's Meadery. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it might be Heart of Darkness, or is it? I'll have to look it up. But it's a black currant mead, and
Black curtain.
Black Agnes. That's what it is.
Black Agnes.
What does black curtain mean?
Like black currant.
Currant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I can't enunciate. I've been drinking too.
Okay.
So
That's fine. Well, St. Louis has a really like rich beer culture to its history. Do you think the city is on the verge of another brewing renaissance, or do you think it's already peaked?
I don't know if it's on the verge of another renaissance, but I don't think it's peaked either. We definitely have a lot of good breweries here in St. Louis. The craft alcohol market's just in a weird spot right now more than anything. Pulled some numbers from the Brewers Association recently. Right now, the number of breweries opening up versus closing, it's actually the first time it's actually gone the other way. We're having more closures than openings. I think, what was the number on here?
Really? Yeah, because I mean, a few years ago, I feel like there was like just every time you turned around, there was like another like craft brewery,
especially here in St. Louis.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't call it a bubble, but I think definitely we're in a correction phase at this point. St. Louis, we've actually been pretty good as far as closures and everything. We've had very little compared to the rest of the U.S. I know some folks out in Colorado. It's been a bloodbath out there with brewery closures. I know Carolina, especially after the hurricane damage and everything, they lost a bunch of breweries that way, but that was the hard way. That wasn't from like back economics. That was just
the way I would think about it is just like based on just because of what Zach and I do. I mean, the real estate, you know, being able to get in and still have pretty decent rents into places for buildings like this, or even just buying a building here in the Midwest. is probably cheaper and keeps the cost down compared to places like Denver or on the coasts. So I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be pretty cool to see like an insurgence or a flood of just different breweries moving into St. Louis and into the Midwest in general. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be very cool. I don't know.
Cool thing with St. Louis is we have so many different breweries here that all have their own kind of unique style in a sense. I mean, we have a side project over in Maplewood. They're actually were number 2 brewery in the U.S. I don't know if they moved up or down the ranking. They're still definitely in the top 5 at this point.
Really? In the U.S.?
Really?
What's it called?
Side project. They specialize in a lot of like wild fermentations and sours and everything, but they have some other good like standard beer styles too.
Where's this at?
It's over in Maplewood. It's over so right by the intersection of, I believe, Big Ben and Manchester. If you head like up there a little bit, it's right next to like there's a chicken store there, and then they have a pizza place across the street from them as well.
Yeah. I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, Josh Cochran actually. I don't know if you remember him from Watson. He works over there in the kitchen now. So
yeah. Wow. Yeah, because that what's that? I'm trying to think of the fried chicken. Gus's Fried Chicken's right there.
Yeah, right next door to him.
Oh, okay. I've never been there. I mean, they're like one of the biggest ones in the world.
Yep.
Wow. One
of the top ones in the world. They don't. It's not like a big facility, but
in terms of what they produce,
is high quality. I'm not a big fan of sours myself because I just get acid reflux off those things. Yeah. But they're making some damn solid beers there.
I like a sour if it's like I can only have like one though. You know, it's like I'm not going to drink a couple of them. I feel like I just need like I'll drink like a sour.
Yeah. See, I'm a red ale Irish beer type of guy. Just give me the real thick.
Yeah, you would definitely be a guy for Civil Life, I think.
Yeah.
I like Civil Life.
Civil Life. Whenever we have judges coming from out of town, one of the first places they always want to visit after judging everything is Civil Life. I mean, all it is just like classic English, Irish, Scottish beer styles and everything, like some of the German styles too, and some of the Czech lagers and everything. And they do that stuff well. There's nothing fancy about them. They just do classic styles consistently well, and that's
where are they located at?
Let's see, they're over in South City, I think. Try to remember the exact location, but you remember that pool party we had for Watson's a couple years ago? They're like,
was that a Nick's?
Yeah, like it was maybe a block over from them, I think.
So it's like Tower Grove area. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never been to their spot either. I mean, I've been to quite a few local.
Maybe we could convince the people up here to get a party bus and just fucking brewery hop.
That'd be really fun.
A lot of fun.
There's a couple companies that do that. I can easily get a number for you guys.
Okay.
So
that'd be cool. Yeah,
That'd be
just like do some like brewery hopping and just jump around.
I mean, there's so much beer consumed in this place. I'm surprised they have. I'm sure they would love it.
yeah, a lot of beer consumed here. That's for sure.
So,
wow. Oh, Scott, I got a fun question here for you.
All right.
So if aliens landed here tomorrow, and you wanted to explain humanity through a single drink, which one are you giving them?
Oh wow, that is. Well, part of me wants to be a troll and say Malort. Single drink. Oh, jeez.
Okay, man. You guys just landed. Here's our best shit. What do you got?
This is going to piss some people off, I think.
That's okay.
Bud Light.
No, but you're in the ballpark. Definitely an AB, an Anheuser-Busch product. I would probably say Michelob Amberbach.
Okay.
I like it. They've got that out there. That's pretty much the
that's
only
one
thing
of my
I
favorites. I mean, a lot of people shit on AB because of some of their market practices and everything, and it's justifiable. But the thing is, though, Anheuser-Busch, their quality control is second to none, and that's for any industry you're in. You need, if you want to be successful, because one of the things you want to talk about on your show is success.
Sure.
You want to be successful if you're producing a product, quality. Any day of the week, you need to produce something out that's a good quality product that's going to hold to the test of time and be consistent. Anheuser-Busch, they will make a beer in Jacksonville that'll taste the same 2 weeks from now as one made in Denver 5 weeks from now, as from one in Los Angeles a year from now. I mean, to have that kind of consistency across all their sites and everything is...
For how big they are.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty incredible.
That is. I mean, I always said this I worked in...
And they've been doing it for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said this I worked in the barbecue industry for, several years, and, we get people that came in and they'd say like, oh, this brisket tastes different today than it did the other day. And it's like, well, we're doing the same process every single time. Like it's the same, we're cooking the same types of pieces of meat, but that's the biggest difference was the people that I didn't even ever think about until I was in that industry was that the products are going to be different. Like they're different
The
cows.
cows.
The cows are different.
Mhm.
So like every single brisket is not going to be the exact same. They're all
Yep.
different shapes and sizes and fat content and like different marbling content and like just and the way the grains are on this one. Like it's all different. And just to like keep a consistent product, especially in that industry, was very difficult. But I mean, I would imagine but even with alcohol, I would imagine like, yes, I'm buying the same kind of ingredient, but like it could be a little bit different than the last time I got it. And maybe the farmer that pulled it a couple weeks later or earlier, or maybe it rained more, maybe it didn't rain more. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that could go into it, but like the fact that they could have such a consistent product is like super impressive.
Well, except for Natty Light. Natty Light's the only one that's constantly changing.
Yeah, oh, bro, that was
So I had to take an alcohol class when I was in college for too many drinking tickets. But
I had a couple of those.
yeah, so I learned in the alcohol class, Natty Light. So Natty Light was their first light beer, but and then they started coming out with these other beers. But basically, Natty Light is the bottom of the barrel of all of their different beers. They just dump it into a new thing, throw a few hops in there, brew it up, and then throw it out as Natty Light. So you're literally getting every single beer that they make in one can. Sometimes you're going to get a bunch of Bud Light. Sometimes you're going to get a bunch of Busch. Sometimes, like, that's why it always tastes different, because it's never the same.
If I had to add up all the beers I've drank in my life, I've probably consumed more cans of Natty Light than anything else.
Yeah,
That's for
absolutely.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. $12 24 packs in college.
Yep.
I mean, geez, you couldn't beat that.
Yeah. There was I remember like they always did like a back to school special. But that's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was like, I think it was $15 30 packs.
Discount beer and smokes over there?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Buddy.
Missouri
Yeah,
State.
we used to just go because we knew it was like only going to last for a few days.
Right.
We would like all just go and I mean, we had like 30 packs stacked up in our bedrooms. Like it was ridiculous.
You were a Mo State guy?
Yeah.
Same.
We both were. Yeah. Different
What
times.
years?
I was there the fall of 06 through the spring of 10.
Did you ever hang out with any of the hockey team?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does the name Evan Kurtz ring a bell?
I played baseball down there. Name sounds familiar.
How old is he?
He's going to be
How old are you, Scott?
41.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be 36 this year.
So he was a year young. He's a year younger than I am. So, and I guarantee you, we have a ton of mutual friends. Let's see.
I swear it's not even this town anymore. It's this freaking state at this point.
Yeah, everybody knows everybody, man.
It's not even 2 degrees of separation anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I know him.
I know him. Yeah, it's small city, or what do they say it like?
Biggest small town.
Yeah, biggest small town. You know, I mean, St. Louis really is. I mean, how often do we, run into?
Is that him?
That's him.
we got a bunch of mutual friends.
Jeez.
A lot of them are Oakville guys, Oakville people. But yeah, there's a couple hockey guys that I played with for sure.
Yeah, he played for the Smet for a couple of years, and then he went into the mid-states draft and everything next year because he wanted to go back to Brentwood to graduate with his buddies and everything. And
he definitely looks familiar. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we were really, whenever there's a hockey party, you were getting fucked up.
That's what I've been told. I've heard some stories from some of his friends.
Hockey
and everything.
players, holy shit! Like baseball players know how to party. Hockey players took it to a whole new fucking level.
Yeah, we were good buddies with all the,
whole
hockey team. I mean, like
it's a good group of guys.
That's hockey guys in general.
It's a good group of guys to know because they don't give a fuck. If they've got your back. Like they're loyal. They'll have your back. If you're friends and you're part of their group, they will fight for you.
Yeah,
hockey guys, they're just a different breed, no matter what level it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they like to fight with knives on their feet. So
yeah, pretty much. But getting back to the drink, yeah, definitely Michelob Amberbach.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I like that pick. I was just crushing a few of those the other night.
That's a solid pick. I like it.
It's perfect. Just like
was curious.
Like it's like perfect early fall to early spring beer. I think in my mind.
Yeah, I like it. You know, I've good stuff. What's something about the craft alcohol industry that like most people, even like the beer nerds like yourself, have wrong, in your opinion?
So one thing that everybody, especially like the craft beer nerds, think that the brewers that are always be drinking like these amazing triple hop saisons, like every single second they're there and everything. But when the reality of it is, some of our favorite beers, the stuff we have in the cooler, it's like just like a PBR or Stag or Busch Light or something like that. We love drinking those things.
Busch Light.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't mind
Yeah, and then
any
they
of
see that,
those.
but they're like, but it's mass produced junk. Like, yeah, it's consistent beer and everything.
Yeah.
It's beer flavored beer because after a while,
beer flavored beer.
because after a while, I mean, some of that stuff it gets old at that point. And you can't drink a whole bunch of these. Some of those ones like those big Russian Imperial stouts, something like maybe about
Right.
14-15%. That feels like it's a candy bar in there. Almost, I
Yeah,
mean, that's what it is.
It's
Calorie
a sandwich in
Well,
a can.
that's the
why
thing is
I've
like I
always referred to
can't
it.
like everybody's into IPAs. I cannot. People are gonna hate on me for this. I fucking hate IPAs.
I'm hitting
Hey,
this on those. There's
I like 'em.
I'm not a fan.
I like them, but like you just said, like I can have like 2, maybe
Mhm.
3. Like they're like sandwiches in a can. Like you can
Mhm.
only eat some. You can only drink so many of them. Like you put, Bud Light, Busch Light, Natty Light.
Mhm.
I could drink those all night. But
Oh,
like I
Smittix,
can't.
baby. Give me a Smittix all fucking day.
Smittix.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
an Irish.
I
Yeah,
don't know if
Irish
I got-
Red Ale.
Oh no, I've had
Mhm.
that.
I got.
Smittix is a good
that.
one. Harp's
got-
another good one
I got
too.
fucking smashed.
Mhm.
Down
What do
at
they do? What do they
at
put in it
Disney
to make it
World.
red?
Actually, it's like a little touch of roasted barley in there. I think
That's
maybe about in that grain bill. I've done Irish Reds before. I think maybe about not even a full ounce of like roasted barley in there, and just like maybe a small amount of like a English pale malt or something. All you need is just like that little touch of specialty malt, just color it up, and that's about it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you want to do something really fun?
Yeah.
Go to Disney World. Go to what's the one with the
Oh, yeah.
golf ball fucking thing?
Epcot.
Epcot. Yes, they got the
Oh,
around
I
the
know what you're
world
talking about.
thing. So a couple years ago, we took the boys down there, and I
For
was
sure this was last year, Pat. Yeah, I remember.
We're coming up on a couple. It's
Coming up on a year.
It's almost. It's been over. It'll be almost 2 years come February. So we're about a year and a half past since this happened.
I remember it was
Yeah.
23, so,
Yeah.
or 22.
24.
24, sorry.
Yeah, and so
I've heard of these things, the drink around the world trip, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, well, what I did, I mean, we were there. I had the kids. My ex-wife and I got into it. She stormed off. I asked her boyfriend who was with us, I was like, you want to do this? And he goes, I should probably go back. I was like, good. That's where you succeeded and I failed. So literally I would go to the English, Irish section of it. I'd walk up to the bar, an Irish car bomb and a Smittix. Do the car bomb real quick. Then I'd take the Smittix and I would just take a lap. And I would stop and eat at different spots along the way. I'd come right back. I did like 6 or 7 laps every time I was hammered, but it was so much fun. So I highly recommend if you're going to go to Disney World, hit up Epcot and just take a day by yourself and just drink around the world. It is awesome. There's like, cause there's 14 different countries or something like that. There's a lot. Now, like I tried a couple different other countries, but I always made my way back to the Irish pub that's right there and just car bomb, give me my Smittix and I'll just take a lap.
There's something special about Irish pubs, no matter where you are.
Oh,
Right
it
where
was,
you are. They're
Mhm.
always
And it
always
was-
like a go-to spot.
right. And,
Yeah.
it felt like an Irish pub. Like I mean, I can't say that because I've never been to Ireland. So I don't know what it's like to be at a pub in Ireland, but I 100% think this is what it would feel like, but it was awesome. I had a great time and I highly recommend people doing that.
Yeah, there's something about an Irish pub that just like feels, I don't know, just feels like you should be drinking there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh,
Irish
absolutely.
pub, Irish sports bar. You guys
Yeah.
ever been to Obie Clark's over in Brentwood?
I was just
Sure.
there last night.
Of course. Yeah, that's my family's favorite drinking hole for a number of years. We have friends or family in town and stuff. We always go there. So.
Obie Clark's. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great
I'll tell you what,
spot.
they've got the best trashed wings in St. Louis. I'll throw that
They
out
are
there.
pretty
I'll
good.
say that. I'll say it.
The Reubens are excellent too.
Yeah, all their food's good.
I love. a
I've
good
yet to have
Reuben,
anything
man.
bad there, but
I'm a sucker for corned beef.
Mhm.
Let's see,
Well, we got
leprechaun
these-
in me.
Yeah, we actually guys down in Bluewood one of these Saturdays. We actually do a smoked Reuben sandwich on Saturdays there. So
okay.
Mhm.
Dude,
Wow.
smoked corned beef, smoked pastrami. Like that was when I worked in the barbecue industry. That was like my favorite thing that and I still like. I worked at Sugar Fire for a number of years, and like anytime St. Patty's Day, anytime that I still follow them on all the social media. Anytime they do like smoked corned beef or smoked pastrami, like I always go and get like a couple pounds just because it's.
You
Just
guys
like
are
my
making me
favorite thing in the world.
fucking hungry. I don't know if it's the
Best.
alcohol that's making me hungry or you guys talking about food that's
well,
making
we
me
train
hungry.
jujitsu. I mean, we can afford to eat.
Yeah,
some
we
food
just
for ourselves.
trained.
We just trained today.
We just did 10 a.m. class right before this, so
Yeah, Zach fucked my neck up. It's hurting. Fucking guillotines.
Well, speaking of jiu-jitsu, Scott, how did you what originally kind of brought you to jiu-jitsu? That's how we know each other.
Yep.
We both train together.
So years ago, I just kind of I did something. The apartment complex my ex-wife and I were living at. One of the managers there, her husband or fiance, I can't remember what exactly. He trained jiu-jitsu and did grappling for a while and everything, and he was opening up his own little studio. And I figured, pop in and try it out. As predicted, I got my ass kicked repeatedly. Did it for about a year, and I still enjoyed it, but I ended up having to give it up. Just cashing time at that point. Unemployed. I was going through a whole divorce process, everything. Wrecked my car. 2014 was a shit year for me.
Wow. And
then I kind of always regretted stopping at that point. I mean, it wasn't anything formal. It was just in the back of a game shop over in St. Anne and everything, but it was fun. And then so we talked with Josh Cochran when he was over there at Bluewood with the kitchen place that we had when Bluewood first opened up. So we got to talk, and then he told me about his buddy Dwayne Reitler. Dwayne runs the basics class over there at Watson, and said he started homebrewing. Had some questions, so him and I started talking, and then somehow we got into jiu-jitsu. I can't remember how that happened, but he invited me in for like one of the basics classes. I tried out, and I forgot how fun this was, so I kept coming back, and then next thing I knew, I moved up to the fundamentals class and proceeded to get my ass kicked even further. To the point where I just kept going to the point
when was this? What year?
This would have been 2021, 2022, I think. So, and then I just kept coming back and everything to the point where I just got my second stripe on my blue belt a couple of months ago.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
It's amazing, man.
Down 30 pounds. I haven't been in the low 200s probably since college. I think this is probably the best shape I've been in
That's
years.
Awesome, man.
Well, you look great. Yeah. So I
don't feel great.
You look great, Scott.
Yeah.
What what would you say one thing that like jiu-jitsu's done for you?
I think it's taught me better how to think under pressure, I think, because when you have somebody on top of you that's actually trying to choke the living shit out of you and everything, you have to learn how to think on your feet and how to stay calm more than anything. It's definitely that. It's helped me out in my career a little bit. Definitely showed me things could always be worse. I could be getting choked out by a guy that always weighs me by at least a good 40, 50 pounds or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it definitely makes you realize. Well, it makes everything in your life seem a lot easier. You know, at least that's one thing we talk about that all the time in here is you can go and have a really tough jiu-jitsu session, and then like the rest of your day, like things can go awry at work or other things, and it's doesn't seem as big of a deal. You're like, it's at least it's not, I'm not getting strangled or getting my arm extended and, and trying to put it in this, into a bad spot.
It gives you much better perspective, and it kind of just helps you blow off steam too. It's been a bit of a weird summer for me. I have a senior dog who's been in and out of the vet repeatedly this summer with health issues to the point where we're at the vet almost maybe once a week now. It's helped out the stress on that immeasurably.
Yeah, man. It's just that. And then the group of people, the community there is phenomenal. Like there's just such great people. I mean, there's so many in the diversity in the group of people there. Like, I mean, there's, several hundred students and there's just people of every walks of life. It's like doesn't matter how much money you make or what you do for a living or how you grew up or, what, race, color, ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter at all. It just matters if you're, matters your ability on the mat. That's the only thing that matters. And it's such a fun group community. And I mean, we all want the same thing, and everybody just wants to help each other and get better. And that's the best part about it, man.
Kyle's built something really special there. I mean, I've had friend coaches over the years for like different sports and everything. He's one of the few that I would follow him to hell and back, honestly.
Oh, me too, man. He's such a good person and such a great leader, and his ability to coach is just like the way he can explain something. I mean, he's just such a great teacher. It's so I look up to him so much. He's just such a good guy, and he's just always just wants the best for everybody. And we're just very fortunate to have him and have that place, man. I love that. I mean, I always say it's like my home away from home. And
because I just remember you have a fight coming up soon, don't you?
Too?
Yeah, well, I'm doing the St. Louis Open at the end of September, and then I'm doing the CX BJJ at the end of October. So yeah, next 2 months I'm definitely gonna be ramping up my training quite a bit. So I've been trying to get 4 to 5 days in a week, and on top of my like lifting CrossFit sessions. And yeah, I'm gonna be coming for doing. I'm excited. This will be my first IBJJF match, which I'm excited about. I've never done one of these yet, so which is like almost embarrassed to say that I haven't done one because I compete somewhat regularly. I try to compete, 2-3 times a year minimum. And I've just never made it to both. This is the third time they've done an IBJJF in St. Louis, and I just haven't been able to do it the last 2 years. But this year, I told my wife I got to do it. I know it's the day before your birthday, but I want to do it. And yeah, I'm stoked. I'm very excited, and just looking forward to it. I've been really working on my gi game like over the last 6 months specifically, and I'm excited to kind of showcase the stuff that I've been working on. So it's been I've been very focused on a specific particular guard, and I'm excited because I'm having a lot of success with it.
Gotcha. So how do you feel the prep is different for like saying doing like super fight, like the invitational versus like prepping for like a tournament like Fuji or IBJJF? How do you feel like you have to shift your mindset around at that point, or is it?
I'd say it's pretty similar, man. I mean, to be honest, like the super fight is like, that's like, I mean, I've always said like the super fights, that's about as cool as it gets for us, in my opinion. Like I don't ever plan on getting in an MMA cage or anything like that. So like these super fights, I mean, I think that's about as cool as it gets. So like, there's a lot more like pressure. You got a lot of people watching. I know there's a lot of people that have at this point, even we're still 2 months out, or that are going to go or have bought tickets. So it's like, I feel like there's a little bit more pressure, but like, as far as you've just one match, versus a tournament, I could have like 5-10 matches, it just depends on my day goes. So, I mean, I would say the training is pretty similar. Like even if I just had the super fight to train for, I would still be pretty much training the same way. But now that I'm going to be doing the tournament, in addition to that, like, I mean, I'm just going to be trying to ramp up my training and make sure my cardio is in a good spot to do several matches. Cause I did sign up to do both gi and no gi. So that day, it's going to be a long day. I figured might as well just, sign up for both of them, try to get as many points for the team as possible. Cause this will be it's the third time I've done it in St. Louis, and
repeat.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get the three-peat that we've won the last 2 years as a team for the team trophy. For those of you that don't know it, with the jiu-jitsu tournament, like we all sign, if we're all under the same team, we sign up under the same team. And then, the points that you accumulate for your team by like winning matches and stuff, it like goes toward your team score. So we've, depending on how many people get medals and stuff, you get more points. And so we're, we've taken home the team trophy the last 2 years. So we're going to try to do it. Gi and no gi. And we're going to try to do it a third time this year. So, want to just do everything I can to get the most points for the team. And, hopefully I can put out a good performance and, showcase the stuff that I want to do. So, yeah, I'm stoked. I wouldn't say my training is that much different. I'm just trying to ramp it up, just trying to make sure my cardio is as good as possible, make sure I have a game plan, and I try to stick to my game plan as much as possible. I mean, I would say that's like the biggest thing in comp.
Gotcha.
Because it's you have this game plan and you try to stick to it, but sometimes if I get say I get taken down quick and I'm put in a spot that I wasn't planning on being, well, I got to get out of that spot and get to where I want to be, or whatever it is. So, yeah.
What was it Tyson said? Everybody's got plans like get punched in the mouth or something like that.
Right, yeah, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Have you done any competitions?
I did. My first one was last year with the IBJJF, and that was right after I got my first start, my blue belt. Got my first match, I got mauled in that one. That guy ended up taking multiple golds that day, and took silver in the absolute and everything. So I didn't feel too bad about that one. The second fight I had, that was for silver or bronze for the gi for Master 2 blue belt super heavy, and he got me into close guards, about ready to break out, and all of a sudden, as I'm pushing to open his guard and everything, he powers back in, and all of a sudden I just feel like a pop, 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 pop right there in my chest. And like, that's not good. And next thing I know, he gets me a bow and arrow, and I'm just like, nope, I'm done. They have to help me off the mat a little bit. Really? Doctor checked me out. Couldn't find anything wrong, but I'm pretty sure something got torn or dislocated there. And
in your chest? Yeah,
and it was doing better until we started doing Coach Phil's or Judo Phil's anti-wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Don't remember who it was, but we were doing like the Tomonage stuff where we just kind of roll them over our head like that. I was doing okay, but then two of my
fancy guard pull.
Yeah. But then two of my sparring partners, for some reason, their knees kind of went inside instead of outside. When they came inside and rolled me over, the knees hit right there. And it was super tender at that point. Then I've been doing the comp classes as well. And then I think 2 Sundays ago, was working with Coach Nathan, one of the black belts. And all of a sudden he comes down and he's digging his elbow in like he's supposed to in the side control. And it feels like somebody hits me with a sledgehammer right there. I'm like, nope, done. And just, that was the last round for the day too. And it was just embarrassing more than anything.
Yeah. Well, part of the game, unfortunately, the injuries, tend to happen. But like I always say, injuries happen in every sport, no matter what it is, whether it's, because that's when people like say to me all the time, like, aren't you afraid of getting hurt? And I'm like, well,
I've been hurt before.
I've been hurt, like if you walk around like you're made of glass, like, like what are you going to experience in this life? I want to be able to look back on my life,
So I did hard shit.
Yeah. Say and be proud of the shit that I did, and like, I don't want to, like, I don't ever want to be, on my deathbed regretting I didn't do something.
Exactly.
So I want to be happy with that. And I want to do the shit that I like to do. So, and this is what I like. So I'm going to do it as long as I can.
And we're all kind of, let's face it, we're all getting up there. I mean, I'd rather be hurting from something legitimate, like saying, oh, I got hurt training jiu-jitsu and everything, versus saying, I sprained my ankle getting out of bed this morning.
Yes.
I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
I threw my back out picking a toy up off the floor or something. Like, I don't want to be that guy either.
Well, I was getting to that point. That's why I started all the shit that I started. And
at least now we got a legitimate excuse as to why we're hurting and everything.
Right. Exactly.
It's probably not the best word for it, but hey, it's what I got. So
Zach kicked my ass this morning. Why are you limping? Oh, fuck.
At least there's a reason.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a little thirsty again. You guys want to try something
absolutely.
else?
What are we trying?
Yeah.
All right, you guys want
tell us what we got and walk us through this.
Let's see. So we have the session mead that I make for Shoehorn Brewing. This is a raspberry vanilla session mead. Came with this recipe for them a year or so ago, did it a few times in their system, and they took it over, and they've been brewing it since then. And then we have one of their beers. They have a coffee blonde ale. And then we also have one of Bluewood's beers. This is one of their pride and joys, their Oktoberfest.
Gotcha. So should we start with the mead and then work to the other ones?
Let's try the vanilla. Was it raspberry vanilla?
Raspberry vanilla.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds really good.
That'll be a good little palate cleanser.
What's it called? Fara?
Yeah, Fara. It's Norwegian for to go somewhere or to travel, if I remember correctly.
It's a cool looking can.
Yep.
You guys out there?
Go ahead and pop this one. Oh, little happy.
Yeah, so she's there. So is this one carbonated or not?
Yep, this one's carbonated.
So now if it's in a can, is it going to be carbonated most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time I'd say those are carbonated. I've had some ones that are in bottles that are carbonated, but it's very few and far between. The bottles usually you can't serve those just like a regular wine at that point. I've seen some where they kind of carb them up like champagne, but even that's a little tricky to do. I've only done a champagne style mead once, and that one, getting the carbonation was tricky to the point where bottles were actually kind of gushing on us a few times.
Really?
Yeah, I just...
Now is... you said carbonating champagne, is that a different process than you would carbonate beer?
Yeah, with making a champagne and everything, like a real honest to God champagne or sparkling wine, there's a whole process on that one where you actually have to, the way the yeast forms and their kind of forms a plug and everything, you have to put the bottle a certain way. You have to freeze the top of the bottle. You have to pop the yeast plug out, put the cork back in there, put a cage on there. It's a whole process. I've only read about it a few times. I would like to try it one day with like the actual great mead and everything, but I want to do my research because there's just so many things that can go wrong with that. And I definitely feel like if I wouldn't jiu-jitsu terms, I feel like I'm still like maybe a brown belt in brewing and everything at this point. I've done a lot, but there's still a lot I have to learn.
Well, even the black belts still have stuff to learn. I'm sure all the black belts we know would tell you the same thing. Even Kyle would probably say there's stuff out there that he's not an expert on. You know, I mean, I don't know what those things are in particular because he seems to know just about everything. But I would tell you, I mean, I bet I would almost guarantee he'd say like, well, I don't know this too well or whatever. But yeah,
roast.
That's good.
Like
that.
Oh, that is good.
It's kind of like, almost like a bit of a sweet tart taste to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does taste like sweet tarts or something.
The carbonation definitely gives it a little bit of, makes it a little different.
Makes a little pop. Because even carbonation, because one of the key things that's...
It's not a lot either.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like super carbonated. But.
It just enough to kind of pop everything out a little bit. Because carbonation actually does add acidity to meads and everything. And that's a handful of things I would recommend to brewers, whether they're making beers, meads, or ciders, you have to understand acidity in there, because hops, they add acidity, they add balance, like how sweet the wort is and everything. Then like fruit acidity, or just for like the ciders and the meads and everything, it helps add balance on that as well. Same with a wine too. If you can't understand or perceive acidity all that well, you need to learn how to do that. Because that's the key. I mean, quality control is one thing for making alcohol, but understanding balance is another.
No, that's really good.
This one's good.
No, we just got done talking about health and all that stuff.
Here we are.
Well, I mean, we're talking about being, and here we are drinking. I mean, there's a growing conversation around alcohol's role in society, the craft culture to health conscious living. Where do you personally sit on that spectrum today?
That's a very good question. I mean, I know plenty of folks have gone the sober route just for one reason or another, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just I know.
Are there any sober brewmasters? I feel like you can't be, right?
You got to taste.
No, there's
stuff,
actually some well-being. They actually do they specialize in non-alcoholic beer. Same with Athletic Brewing Co. as well, and those aren't bad actually. Because I mean,
how do you make non-alcoholic?
One thing I've seen from AB is that they actually have like a pre-made beer at that point. They just kind of boil it a little bit and just kind of cook off the alcohol that way. I think trying to remember what that brand name is that Anheuser-Busch had.
Well, there's Athletic.
Athletic, yeah, they do a good one. Well-being. It's not is it O'Doul's?
O'Doul's,
yeah,
that's one of them. Yeah, but I've always wondered though, like, how do you get the alcohol out? I mean,
but even still, some of those are still like, there's like 0.01 per. Like, there's like
still, you can't get everything out.
Mm-hmm.
They're covering their bases.
Yeah, at that point, it's like very trace amounts. I mean, you have to drink like maybe about 2 dozen of those to actually get a buzz or something at that point. I don't see anything wrong with going the sober route and everything. I know I've cut back my drinking considerably because during the pandemic, I was drinking a lot at that point because I still see a counselor. I've been seeing a counselor for years now, kind of work through stuff. I mean,
it's so important for people to do.
I started seeing one in 2013, got me through 2014. That was a shit year for me, and I've had some rough times since then. Nothing as bad as them, but still, counselor definitely helps out. But alcohol is a depressant in a sense. I mean, there's been times where I've been kind of going through some stuff, and I actually just go completely sober at that point because I know alcohol is going to make me feel even worse then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As far as its role in society, I mean, beer has always been a social drink and everything. That's one thing I have against the craft beer nerds sometimes, that they get a little bit too elitist with it. Where they like, oh, yes, I have this $300 bottle that I got from Sign Project or Jester King. Have you ever tried this before? No. What's wrong with you then? Beer is for everybody. It's been.
You have that elitist voice down pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I watch too many cartoons. I'll put it that way. I can still casual nerds, still watch anime sometimes, still watch like the old 90s cartoons just because I want to try and relive childhood a little bit.
Yeah. Now with me having little kids, I'm definitely. I get excited about. My son's gotten really into Spider-Man lately. I love Spider-Man as a kid. So, and we've been watching the newer versions of Spider-Man.
Spiting and Amazing Friends.
Oh, we've binged all 3 seasons dozens of times at this point. All 3 seasons that are on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But no, I on Disney Plus, that's the Spider-Man show that I watched in the late 90s. That one's on there.
Oh, that was a classic. The old X-Men one too.
Yes, and I tried to show him X-Men too. He was like, he liked it, but he liked to watch.
He wants Spidey.
He likes Ghost Spider. He's got a crush on Ghost Spider.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ghost Spider's his girly, as he says.
Man, we all had a crush on Rogue back in the 90s.
Oh,
X-Men
yeah, dude.
Boy.
Yeah, for sure. Rogue was a.
I was a bigger fan of Storm though, so
for sure. Well, Halle Berry.
Yeah,
right.
I know what I like. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, you also mentioned Legos earlier. What is it? Are you collect Legos? You build Legos? What?
I kind of got back into collecting them a couple of years ago. Okay. I somehow managed to hold on to the majority of the sets I had from when I was a kid, like all the good like 80s and 90s ones and everything. Just figured just one day, let's just put them back together because I saw a Star Wars Lego set online. Figured just give it a go, and just I wanted something extra to put in my apartment. And figured just why not? And then just kind of feels like I don't know, maybe not so much like a midlife crisis or anything like that, just kind of just having some fun with it again. I put the set together, it was like a Lego X-Wing, and I was like, I have some extra cash, I'll get another set. And so I got that one. Then I was cleaning out my closet one day and like, oh shoot, I still have all these sets. Like I have all the old pirate sets, the old castle sets from when everything got all super marketed by Lego and everything, all the different
OG Lego.
Yeah, the OG stuff. Yeah. And I just figured, why not? So I started putting it together again, and just it was calming more than anything. I mean, there was definitely some frustration points going through bins, like, where is this piece? Where is this piece? Where is this piece?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And my youngest son is obsessed with Legos. They're minifig over there in Kirkwood.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that place.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, it can get expensive, but they got some like older stuff that's pretty cost effective, but their new stuff's pretty pricey. Like little figurines are going for like $500.
I've seen that, especially like some of the Star Wars ones now too, where just by themselves, they think that there's like a Jango Fett one that you could like maybe pay $200 from. Like, jeez.
Yeah,
I should have bought some of these things a little bit sooner.
So there's my parents live down in Florida. They're not far from Pensacola, but middle of September, I'm actually taking my youngest one down to Florida for this Lego competition on the beach.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down there for that. And excited for that. So that'll be fun. He's my artsy like builder. You know, he likes to do that stuff. So him and I will build stuff together. We've done. I mean, he's incredible with this. Like he'll sit there for hours and build these things. But yeah, we've done all the like the Iron Mans, the Hulk, the Spider-Mans, all of those. He's just obsessed with it. So yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah. So here's a question for you guys, since you're talking about some of those things, like just like Spider-Man stuff, now DC and Marvel. So where are you guys, DC or Marvel?
Marvel all day, baby.
Yeah, Marvel for sure.
Marvel, hands down. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I'm a sucker for a good Batman movie. Like, I mean, all the Christian Bale Batman movies.
Those were good.
I would say, I mean, of the superhero movies, Dark Knight has to be.
No, that was
top.
That's an instant classic right there. Heath Ledger. I remember seeing that in the theaters.
Might be my favorite movie of all time. To be honest with you.
You couldn't tell it was him at a couple of points. I mean, like it literally felt like the Joker there.
It's so good. Yeah. You believe it. You really believe that this guy is just crazy. You know, like
that's what sent him over the edge. It had to have been.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
You know,
they found his journals and all that. He fucking locked himself in a hotel room and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you look at the journal, I saw that post.
Oh my gosh,
wild, it's freaky. You know, like it's like writing out, you know, things that are funny. You know, like something like children falling into pits of glass and like all these, like it's just like you just this like super dark shit,
right?
And it's like, you know, he's just like writing this in his free time.
Like, how do you not go to how do you not become go insane trying to do that stuff for that role?
It's horrible. I mean,
although Jack Nicholson, he pulled it off pretty well though for Batman.
He was kind of fucking crazy.
He did, but I mean, I wouldn't say
Jack was really kind of he was a little bit off the deep end anyways. But
I feel like it was just like so much darker with Heath, and the character he played was just, it's so freaky, but he had this like good like
mix
character to him that you believed it, and like you like the fact that he tells like a different story every time when he talk about his parents.
Smile.
Yeah, like how did I get these scars? Just like, it's so good.
Yeah,
put the blade in my mouth. It's like
he got that down.
Yeah,
he's been practicing that one, huh?
Yeah, I'm good at that one.
He definitely earned the Oscar for that one. No question.
For sure.
I don't know if there's a better. No one's played the Joker as good as he has.
Mark Hamill does a good job with the voice, though.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Penguin spinoff on HBO?
So good. Very good. With Colin Farrell.
He's doing a good job with that one. It's not the traditional Penguin you expect.
They're not bringing it back. They're like, this was just a one-time thing.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Colin Farrell was like, this was meant to be a one-time, like a limited series. They're not bringing it back. It was incredible. Incredible.
I mean, he got it down so good. I mean, just like the walk, the makeup on him, like the fact that is Colin Farrell,
right?
Like Colin Farrell's like the super handsome, like good looking guy, and they like really like made him look like this like heavy set like monster essentially, like
Oswald.
Yeah.
Pop. What was it? Oswald. What is it?
Oswald.
Something pot.
Yeah, Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Cobblepot.
Yeah, that's right. So good.
Which is the way they did it too was like, if you've seen any of the other ones, like I know they did like a Batman series when he was little.
Oh yeah, Gotham.
Yeah.
I never watched that.
And that version was like, but that take on it, the way they had it was, I really liked that one.
It was a little more realistic.
Yeah.
Is how I describe it.
Right.
Well, that's how you feel about all the, at least the Dark Knight, the whole Dark Knight series. It's it's pretty, realistic in quotation marks, but like, I mean, it's obviously it's like one guy fighting 20 people. And you're like, okay, dude, come on. You know, like as someone who's, people that train martial arts, like, okay, well, guys, come on. Like how many of us need to pile on this guy before he's, before we can take him out? But but I think it depicts it like the most realistically, like with like the villains that are like, actually like evil, like they would do like real life horrible things. Like I think it depicts it better than
even the one with Bane. Was
Bane, Dark Knight Rises, so good. Yeah, I mean, Bane was
born in the dark.
I was born in the darkness. You really adopted it. Or whatever he said. I do. Yeah. And then Tom Hardy.
Oh man.
Great. He's versatile with all this stuff.
Dude, he's so good.
He's so good.
Yeah. I think he's purple belt now.
He's one of my favorite. That would be, and that's what's so cool about jiu-jitsu, like bringing it back to jiu-jitsu. That's what's so cool about it is like, you could go to these tournaments, IBJF,
AGF.
Yeah. The ADC.
Or you wouldn't see those guys at those ones. You'd see them at like a Fuji, IBJJF, an AGF, grappling industries, any of those. But like, Tom Hardy's like been out. Can you imagine just like all of a sudden you walk out and you're just squared up with Zuckerberg?
Right. How cool would it have been with Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool.
Well, like,
so
dude,
cool
you got me in the choke. Hey, can you tell me about this food? I'm doing something wrong.
Henry Cavill, I think he's
I got Zuckerberg's back. Like, hey, just letting you know, I've tried to figure out this thing with my Facebook Marketplace. I kicked off about 2 years ago because I left my listing up too long. Can we figure that out? Like fuck.
Oh man,
a Facebook Marketplace. I need to figure that out because I got kicked off of that a few years ago.
What'd you do?
It wasn't because I did anything. I think I had one of my VA. I think she put one of my real estate listings on there, and I didn't know it. And I wasn't, the house had been sold for months, and it was still like on there, and I didn't know it. And people were like messaging me about it, and I guess I didn't see them. And then they, and then I didn't respond, and then they kicked me out. And I'm like, what? And I've tried to like appeal it and shit, but it's been a whole pain in the ass. So anybody out there, if you know how to help me get back on Facebook Marketplace, I'd appreciate it. Just because, and the biggest pain in the ass is because like people will send me shit on Facebook Marketplace, whether it be like a house listing or like whatever. And then like, I got to like take the link, send it to my wife. I'm like, hey, screenshot what this is so I can see what it is. And, and it's like a big pain in the ass. So, but.
What do you guys think about the overall housing market in St. Louis right now? You think it's getting better, worse, staying about the same right now?
Well, I mean, what would you say is better? Like the people, like, do I think prices are going to go down? Do I think prices are going to go up? Like what do you mean by that, but better?
I'd say, you think it's going to be a better buyer's market or a seller's market coming up?
Well, I mean, I would say right now we are getting out. I would say we're on the tail end of a seller's market, but it's starting to kind of starting to go the other way. We're seeing houses sit on the market a little bit longer. That's giving buyers more opportunity, more buying power. But I say that,
it's also cyclical. So we are heading into the fourth quarter.
We are heading into the fourth quarter, which is typically our slowest time of the year.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
which is the best time to buy, in my opinion.
I agree.
Winter months are the best time to buy.
Yeah. Like September through the end of the year.
Homes are still in the market. There's just not as many buyers out there. You can find yourself pretty good deals. Most of the time, if you go under contract in the winter, you're either at ask or slightly over, but getting your closing costs covered. I mean, that's the thing too, is like a lot of my contracts that I've gotten recently have been either at list or right around list with closing costs covered, which you haven't seen. I think we really started to see the shift when you're like, all right, well now I'm able to go just maybe like 5,000-10,000 over asking, but I still get to do inspections. I don't have to waive all this stuff to go under contract. Where like before you were having to like waive absolutely everything: loan contingency, appraisal contingency, inspections, all of these things, which is a major risk buying a house. But now, that was like the first wave. Like, all right, well now we're still getting multiple offers, but we don't have to waive those contingencies. Then it's like, all right, now we're getting the houses at list with no contingencies. All right, now we're getting house at list with closing costs. So you're really starting to see that shift. You're starting to see homes sit a little bit longer. Interest rates are projected to come down. Everybody talks about the Fed fund rate. The Fed fund rate does not mean mortgage rates are going to come down. Okay. They are not directly related. There's talks. They're sitting at about a 90% chance of a rate cut come September. of 0.25%, but that does not mean mortgage rates are going to drop 0.25%. That usually takes, well, there's two factors to this. One, as soon as they announce this, the market is already reacting to this. So the rates are already dropping before the cut even happens. Then once the cut does happen, it does take about another 3 to 4 months before that cut actually affects the market. And that's when we see rates drop.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. I mean, experts are projecting rates into the low sixes by the end of this year. I think we'll get there, possibly in the fives next year, which in my mind, I think interest rates in the fives make a perfect market. Our average rate, if you look at the history of mortgage rates, is 8%. So 5% is still a very good rate. We got spoiled in 2020 and 2021 with 2s and 3s. I doubt we ever see anything in the 4s in our lifetime again. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with everything he just said. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, you still do see, that perfect house in the neighborhood that's
priced right.
That's priced right, or even a little bit lower than it should be. And it's like, completely picture perfect. It's completely updated, super cute. Everything in it is perfect. Now that house will probably get swarmed by buyers. But the house that's just like a kind of a normal looking house, it might, right at asking, or maybe even a little bit up, a little bit over, or maybe you offer to buy it as is. Like, you can still get it for a reasonable price compared to, what it was a few years, like even earlier this year, even a couple months ago. It's just so crazy because shit just changes
constantly
so fast. I mean,
and that's the thing too, is just like the market's going to tell you what your house is worth.
Yes.
And so like that house that he was just telling you about, that could have been listed slightly below what it's worth, and draw all these offers in. They could have listed it $15,000 higher and only gotten maybe 1 or 2 offers.
But the fact that they listed it 15 grand less, they got 6 offers and it ended up going for 30 grand more.
Yeah.
Like that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like people get competitive, and it's like human nature to like want to win. And, and you don't know what that buyer's been through at that point. This may be their 6th offer they've written, and they're like, we're fucking tired of losing. We have to move. What does it take to get this house? Okay, we're going to pay that. And that's what people do. It totally depends on your situation and where you're at with things. But I mean, it just, it's so house specific right now, That's how it goes. I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah. Price point specific, house specific.
That like $200,000 to $400,000 range here in St. Louis. That's the price range that like most people are in. Like,
correct.
Majority of people, like, I don't know the exact percentage, but I would say,
I mean, if you look at it, so Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So this is how I always tell people to determine whether their markets are affordable. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have an average medium income tool that you can research online. You can search up, it's called either home possible income limits or home ready income limits. You can go in, you can put in a zip code, and it'll tell you what the average medium income household income is for that area. Then you go and look, and then you research, you find out what the average sales price is in that area. And that'll help you determine, like, all right, well, if I make this much money, and we do out the calculations for debt to income ratios and all that, well, okay. So like St. Louis, their average medium income is like over 100,000. Okay. So the programs that we work with, most people that I'm dealing with are around 80% of that limit, and they're able to qualify for at 80% of the average medium income, they're able to qualify for the average sales price house, which in St. Louis is right around, is be like 290 to 300. And so St. Louis is a very affordable market. That's why we get a lot of investors that come through, and that's why, got a few that we work with that are coming from the coast that are coming in and buying these homes here because they can't get a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on the coast for a rental to make it worthwhile. But here they can find something like that for 200 plus and turn it into a rental and make money on it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
All sorts of fun stuff that goes into that.
For sure. Well, Scott, this has been a lot of fun, man. We really appreciate you coming in here and educating us on mead and beer and all sorts of things. Is there anything that we didn't get to that you wanted to chat about or ask us?
Trying to think right now. I asked you guys about jiu-jitsu, asked about the real estate market and everything. I can't think of anything else, but
great, man.
Had me on and everything.
Of course. It's been a lot of fun. We've really liked hanging out with you. I feel like I've really gotten to know you a lot better because, I mean, we've been training together for a while, but I've never actually gotten to sit down and talk to you for this long. So I appreciate you coming in.
No problem, dude.
Sorry for the fuck up earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries.
Well, a little warm up. We'll call it. We'll call it a warm up.
Practice.
Practice.
Practice
Yeah,
20 minutes.
One of my mentors years ago, before I started working with Blue and everything, the advice he gave me was, he looked me right in the eye and said, Scott, you're going to fuck up.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck up more than once. As long as you learn from your fuck ups, you're going to do just fine.
Yeah, we're not.
I'll be
learning from
happy.
ours.
It would, yeah. It would be different if this wasn't the first time.
Yeah. It doesn't happen too often anymore.
No, it does not. It's not as frequent, but it does happen. But yeah, so.
But Scott, we end the show the same way every single time. So before we get you out of here,
I play a little game.
Okay.
It's called the Tombstone game.
Oh, I've seen this on some of the episodes. Yeah.
Here lies Scott. What's it say on your tombstone?
Oof. I've been thinking about this one, actually. I have a funny one and a serious one.
Let's hear them both.
hit,
All right. The
hit
funny
us.
one is, in my defense, I was left unsupervised.
Okay.
And the second one, one was because I used to be a fan of pro wrestling, and then I saw several years back that Scott Hall got inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame and everything. The way he wrapped it up was hard work pays off, dreams come true, hard times don't last, but bad guys do.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good. I
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Mhm.
a
That's
good one.
awesome. That's a
I
good
like
one.
that. Well, thanks again, Scott.
Yeah, man.
And thanks to everybody at home that was watching or listening to this episode. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet for us, please do so. Pat and I are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of 2025. So help us hit that goal. Click that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, click that like button, comment what you thought below, and we will see you next time.